Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome into this week's edition of my top waiver wire ads and streamable defenses. We're in week 15, so that means fantasy football playoffs are starting. I hope that you guys have clinched all your playoff spots. And if anybody wants an update on mine, I had five main leagues that I focus on. And I made all five playoffs. There was one league I entered last night, and I did not think I was going to win that game. But somehow the Cardinals scored just enough points where I won by like 0.08 over this guy because he had the Patriots defense. So little late minute clinch for me. But with that being said, I'm going to go into my waiver wires, my top streamable defenses. Now, before I dive into my waiver wire, one thing I would, if I could give you guys a piece of advice when you get into the playoffs, is play the people that got you here, right? The players that have consistently performed for you, they got you into the playoffs. Don't go for the flavor of the week, right? Play the guys that are going to get you here. But again, what just happened this weekend? If you're like me in one of my leagues and I lost Kyler Murray, so now I have to go find a quarterback. It doesn't sound like Damian Pierce is going to play this weekend, so you might have to go get a running back. Now, if you're lucky enough where you did not lose any of the guys that you've been counting on for the playoff run, one thing you guys could do, this is when you got to get cutthroat if you want to go win some money. Look at the opponent that you're playing right now. Did he just lose Kyler Murray? Do you have somebody on your bench, like maybe a wide receiver, and you know the player that you're, the guy that you're, or guy or gal that you're going against doesn't really need a wide receiver, but they need a quarterback? Maybe go try to pluck a quarterback off the market to keep from them. If you think that player is going to be trying to pick up that quarterback off the waivers, for example. So again, you shouldn't be like looking for guys off the waivers to play in your lineup unless it is a quarterback streaming or if it's a tight end streaming guy. But yeah, play the guys that got you here, and don't be afraid to be cutthroat. Look at your opponent's roster tonight and be like, you know what? I think he looks like he needs a running back. Why don't I don't really need this second tight end. So why don't I just drop this second tight end and go pick up a running back so he doesn't have that to play in his lineup his or her lineup this week. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and dive into the quarterback spot. I'm just going to run over these tonight, guys. So my top quarterback out of the week, I'm going with Ryan Tannehill. He's available in 67% of the leagues. This past weekend, he had 245 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 2 rushes for 16 yards. Now, this weekend, they are going against the Chargers. The Chargers have been suspect to giving up points to quarterbacks this year. With that being said, though, how bad has that Titans pass defense been right over the last couple of weeks or pretty much the whole year, to be honest? And with that being said, Justin Herbert's coming off a phenomenal performance this past Sunday night. I'm looking for him to continue that this week. So what is that going to mean? Can't you maybe see the Chargers also and continue this hot streak? They go up a couple points, and guess what's going to happen is the Titans are going to have to throw a lot. Tannehill doesn't actively look to run, but as I mentioned, he did have 2 rushes this past game. He will run if he has to, so he kind of gives you a kind of a floor entering this week. So if you are like me and you lost Kyler Murray and maybe Tannehill's the only option out there for you, go pick him up. And, hopefully maybe there are some maybe better options for you. But I feel like if you do need a quarterback for this week, I feel like Tannehill's probably the safest play out of the guys that are above 50% availability on Yahoo. Moving into my running back position, I'm going to go with Chuba Hubbard, the Panthers running back. He's available in 67% of the leagues. Now, he was originally like projected to kind of be the guy. Then Deontay Foreman kind of took over because Hubbard was hurt, and now Hubbard's fully healthy, and now the two of them are starting to split reps, right? So he is becoming more fantasy relevant again. This past weekend, he had 14 rushes for 74 yards, a touchdown, and he had 3 receptions for 25 yards on 3 targets. He has had at least 17 touches over the last 2 games. So for me, he is now at least a considerable flex play this week. They are going against the Steelers, but again, the Steelers defense is not the greatest defense not the vaunted defense that Pittsburgh is known for over their whole franchise history. So he is a decent flex play for me, and if you pick him up and you need a running back because you lost Pierce, he's a guy I wouldn't be upset if I had to play him on Sunday. My wide receiver ad of the week, I am going to go with DJ Chark, the Lions wide receiver. He's available in 60% of the leagues. This past weekend, he had 6 receptions for 94 yards and a touchdown on 7 targets. Now, over the last two games, Chark has received at least 6+ targets and 90+ yards in each of the last two games that the Lions have played. Now, he does have a tougher matchup against the Jets this weekend, so that is kind of a shaky play, if you will. I obviously kind of got to worry, are they going to start giving Jamison Williams more snaps as he gets more acclimated after his torn ACL? But with that being said, he is worthy of a bench ad. He's worthy of stealing a wide receiver off if the guy that you're playing, or guy or gal that you're playing, needs a wide receiver. So that is a guy that is definitely worth a bench ad, but if you have better options at wide receiver, he's not a guy I would want to like pluck right away into the lineup. My tight end out of the week, this guy might actually be a decent stream for you this week. And let me see if I can pronounce it right. Chigo Okonkwo. I hope I got your name right, but you're probably not watching my video. But I did try. I want to give a shout out to Marcus Grant from NFL Network. He retweeted this tweet that Chigo put up back in August that gave it like a breakdown of how you pronounce his name. So I hope I did get that right. I try to practice it as much as I could. With that being said, the rookie tight end for Tennessee, this past weekend, he had 6 receptions for 45 yards and a touchdown on 6 targets. In the last 3 games, he's received at least 5+ targets. As I mentioned, the Titans are against the Chargers this weekend. I don't have to rehash everything. I can see this game being a shootout. He's playing more reps. He's getting more snaps. And if Traylon Burks is unable to come back this week, he's just going to be a guy that's going to continue to see targets funneled his way. So if you're looking for a streaming tight end, he's a guy that I think he's starting to be worthy of a streaming. He's like I'd say a low end tight end too right now, but eventually I could see this guy being a tight end possibly for next year. But we already know how the tight end position works out in fantasy football. My flex ad of the week, I'm going to go with Elijah Moore, the Jets wide receiver. He's available in 73% of the leagues. This past weekend, he had 6 receptions for 60 yards on 10 total targets. Over his last 2 games, he's gotten at least 6+ targets. I know Corey Davis left that game with an injury. I'm unsure, though, if he's going to be able to play or not this week. But if Corey Davis is out, that's just going to create more of an opportunity for Elijah Moore this weekend. And then they're going against the Detroit Lions, who have one of the worst passing defenses in the NFL. I love what the Lions are doing right now, but don't get it twisted. Kirk Cousins just threw for over 400 yards against that defense. Justin Jefferson had 223 yards against that defense. So there's a potential where I could see Elijah Moore, as long as he continues to see these targets his way, where he can go over 100 yards this weekend. He's definitely a guy where if you lost a wide receiver and you're dealing with injuries, I wouldn't mind playing him this week because he's got a great matchup. So again, my quarterback out of the week, Ryan Tannehill. Running back out of the week, Chuba Hubbard. Wide receiver out of the week, DJ Chark. My tight end out of the week, Chigo Okonkwo. My flex out of the week is going to be Elijah Moore. Moving into the top streaming defenses for you guys this weekend. Again, these defenses, they have to have at least 50% of roster availability on Yahoo, so there is a good chance that they are out there on the market for you. My number one ad is a good defense that a lot of people dropped after they had a disappointing game just a couple weeks ago. The Broncos defense against the Cardinals. The Broncos are available in 57% of the leagues. They just picked off Patrick Mahomes 3 times this past weekend, and now they're going to be facing a Cardinals offense that's having their own struggles, and then Kyler Murray just tore his ACL. So the Broncos defense is out there. Man, I would definitely go grab them. I could see that pass rush getting after Colt McCoy, and that's going to eventually lead to sacks and turnovers for you. So the Broncos are still available in your league. Definitely go pick them up. Sticking with that same matchup, I am going with the Cardinals against the Broncos. The Cardinals are available in 74% of the leagues. Now, I will say this. I got them ranked at 2 because Russell Wilson got concussion this past weekend, and I saw that the last thing that Schefter said on it was it looks maybe doubtful that he'll play this coming Sunday. Now, if Russell Wilson does play, yes, the Broncos offense is struggling, but they are coming off the best game they've had with Russell Wilson at quarterback. So if Russell Wilson does play, I would probably drop this Cardinals defense down to the 5 spot, maybe even find a different streaming defense. I still would be willing to roll the dice because of how bad the Broncos offense was. But assuming that Wilson's out, it's going to be Brett Rippon. That's their backup quarterback that plays. So with that being said, it's a backup quarterback. I'm willing to roll the dice against them. My number 3 streaming defense, I'm going to go with the Saints against the Falcons. The Saints are available in 75% of the leagues right now. And this is strictly because they're facing a rookie quarterback in Desmond Ridder, who's going to make his first career start. As we already know with rookie quarterbacks, they tend to making mistakes. And man, rookie quarterbacks can be thrown, they can get very confused in their first game. I always say this, Andrew Luck, I still remember to this day, his first game against the Bears, he threw like 2 pick sixes. I think he threw like 3 total interceptions. And obviously he had to retire early for his injuries, but he worked out fine, right? He ended up being one of the elite quarterbacks when he was healthy in the NFL. So with that being said, even the best of best quarterbacks can struggle in their first game in the NFL. So if the Saints are out there, I think they're a good streaming option for you this week. My number 4 streamable defense, I decided to go with the Browns against the Ravens. The Browns are available in 80% of the leagues. Now, I kind of still view them as a good streaming defense if Tyler Huntley is able to clear concussion protocol. He did get a limited practice in today, but he's still technically in concussion protocol. This Browns and Ravens game is going to be on Saturday, so it is a short week. So that makes me do wonder if he's going to be able to clear concussion protocol. And if he is unable to clear concussion protocol, it's going to be a undrafted rookie quarterback in Anthony Brown that'll be playing this matchup. So yeah, again, just like I said about Desmond Ridder actually got drafted in the draft. Nothing against Anthony Brown. Undrafted players can have careers, and maybe he comes out and lights it up if he ends up getting the start. But when it's an undrafted rookie quarterback making his first start in a divisional game, I'll definitely roll the dice on Cleveland's defense this Sunday. My number 5 one, I'm going with the Raiders against the Patriots. The Raiders are available in 56% of the leagues. This is just because the Patriots offense is just, it's not that exciting, right? They have to literally create trick plays and little screens just to get the ball moving. It seems like it was a screen fest the whole time in that Cardinals game last night. And then the Raiders, they got some guys that can get after the quarterback, and Max Crosby and Chandler Jones. So you just got to hope that the type of pressure can get on Mac Jones. And then if they can get that pressure on Mac Jones, hopefully that can lead into some sacks and turnovers. But more than anything, I just see that Patriots offense not really moving the ball at a consistent rate. So I'm just not worried about them putting up a lot of points against the Raiders. So again, my top streaming defenses: Broncos against the Cardinals, Cardinals against the Broncos, Saints against the Falcons, Browns against the Ravens, and Raiders against the Patriots. So yeah, that is today's video. As always, guys, hit that like button if you have not hit that yet. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to my channel, so you can keep up with all my latest NFL content. And then, as always, guys, if you have any questions on any players that I did not address in the waiver wire section, if you have any questions on the streaming defenses, maybe there's a different defense or a player out there you're considering picking up, reach out to me. I'll get back to your comment as soon as I can. Comments, DM me on social media, or as I always say, if you got my number, shoot me a text. Now, as far as this week's start and sit video, I am actually heading out of town tomorrow early afternoon to go stay with my family over the holidays. So with that being said, I am going to actually be recording my start sit video tomorrow morning, and I will be uploading and posting that tomorrow morning right before I head out of Tampa for the next couple weeks. So with that being said, guys, you guys will see my face tomorrow. I hope you enjoy your evening or morning or afternoon whenever you guys are watching this. I'll talk to you soon. Peace out.